to today's vlog. It is rest day. It is... 1 second. The 17th of September. Wow, we're in the burrs. When it's like the burrs, what do I mean by burrs? September, October, November, December. When you're in the burrs, you can officially start celebrating Christmas. So I'm going to whack Elf on. No, I'm not. I'm going to tell you what my rest day macronutrients are. They are 230 to 250 grams of proton. They are 90 grams of, or 60 to 90 grams of the old fat variety, and the rest are going to be from carbohydrates. I'll likely put the macros down below. And I have just eaten 3 croissants, which you've likely just seen V-roll for. Some nutrient-dense dates, which is basically, they're dates, but dates are very nutrient-dense. They're actually a very good massing food, by the way. Not very good when you're cutting. They're just like candy. They taste very good. What else did I have? Oh, I also had a protein shake because of MPS, and I also had a coffee. And my Nespresso pods are coming today, which I'm very excited for. Everybody cheer. Are you cheering? Yeah. Buongiorno. That means hello in French. You know, when you're like kind of deep into a mass, and by deep into a mass I mean like 4 or 5 months into a mass. You know you're deep into a mass when you go up the stairs and you're just like... Anyway, again, as stated before, it is rest day. One thing I like to do in the morning, before I get on with some work, the massage gun. Very much a placebo effect. However, I just feel a little bit loosey-goosey with it. So what I would typically do is I have this attachment here, switch the baby on, fire away. To be honest, the way it pulsates and the way it kind of, the way I sound when it's kind of being used. The neighbours probably think it's something else that vibrates, but rest assured it's just a machine gun. It's not that. It's a massage gun. So I actually have most of my work. Can you hear that dog? That is the bane of my life. Whenever I do check-ins, whenever I do this, whenever I do podcasts, that dog. Anyway, I set my workload up, so basically I have a lot of work to do on rest days. So typically Thursday's a rest day, today. Which is all good. Man, that dog, I swear to God. Anyway, as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by my canine. I wasn't calling him my friend, but he's now my foe. I firmly dislike that dog. I do believe that dog's name is Johnny, which every time the dog owner shouts Johnny, I'm like, surely you haven't named a dog Johnny. Anyway, if I had a dog, by the way, I'd probably call it like someone like Keith or like Colin. Colin's a great name for a dog. Anyway, we're talking about rest days. My rest day is typically Thursday, as stated. It used to be a Wednesday, now it's a Thursday. Wow. Nobody needed to know that. Literally nobody needed to know that. But yeah, typically what I would do is do a couple of hours worth of work. I understand that I don't actually vlog too much of my actual work, which I might start doing. But typically I'll do a couple of hours work. I will then go for a walk. I will then maybe do a Q&A on a Thursday, which I typically do on Instagram. So I might take you for a walk. And then I come home, more work, come home, and then kind of eat, more work, eat, more work, sleep. Wow, my rest day sounds really fun, doesn't it? But I'm going to take you through it anyway. Enjoy. I've just finished my Q&A on Instagram, and now it's your turn. Now it's YouTube's turn. So basically, what I'm going to do is have two, or typically on a rest day, what I do is have two separate walks. One of them now, 3,000 to 4,000 steps. My total step count will be about 6,000 to 8,000. And then what I'll do is have a walk later, which will be kind of 3,000 to 4,000 as well. Typically, I don't have two walks, but because of the lack of the gym, my step count is not hit if I do not have my second walk, which isn't the end of the world. I'm in a mass, so it's not too much of the end of the world, but I like to be fairly consistent with my step count, so my weigh-ins aren't fluctuating that much. That brings me on to my kind of next subject, which is why my macronutrients or calories don't really change. The reason why they don't really change is because, again, which we spoke about just over there, was if you eat food, you don't necessarily use that food straight away. You use it maybe in a day or a couple of days. So if I eat sparingly now, then my kind of, when I go to my next session or my session after that, my performance is probably going to be a bit poorer if I cut calories or cut carbohydrates. So what I typically do is just keep it static, and I do that with clients as well. I do it with clients for that reason, but also for the reason that it just doesn't overcomplicate things, so they don't wake up and go, what calories am I meant to be hitting today? You could just plan for the whole week and eat exactly the same foods. That just makes things very, very simple. I'm being a little bit distracted right now because I can see a squirrel, and I feel like, you know, the dog from Up, where he sees a squirrel, that's like me right now. You'll be called Ted the squirrel. But yeah, what I would do now, I'm actually going to get some food. I'm going to listen to a podcast, and the podcast of choice is going to be, I think it's the new Stronger by Science one, which I can't actually find right now, but it's going to be the new Stronger by Science. Yes, it is this one, which I'm halfway through. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go get some food because I have no food in the house. So I'll likely see you at the shop. I'm hoping they've got Tilda rice because I love Tilda rice. Much love. We just got a letter. Hey, if you can comment in the YouTube comment section, it kind of makes sense that I said YouTube comment section, but if you can guess where that came from, I'll give you a virtual high five. Sick. So we have the Arpeggio. It's okay. This one's a new one, I believe, although it does say 2016 vintage, so it might just be a rerun. This is a decaf version, which I typically have. I kind of like the taste of coffee, but I don't necessarily want the caffeine on a rest day, so I typically have something like this. So I'll normally wake up, have caffeine, and that'll be my only caffeine drink for the whole day. I'll either have coffee or something like a Monster. So typically I have one of these, like, well, now it's like 12 o'clock, so I might have one of these now. And then we have Indonesia, top tier, the best, Colombia. Colombia is the best. They also did, I can't remember which one it was in like a black pod, but that was unreal. I think it's like a fair trade one, but my God, it's real. So I'm gonna have some lunch now with some decaf coffee. Enjoy. Welcome to meal number 2, or DOS, or Zwei. I think that's okay, I think that's German. So we have 250, I was going to say milliliters, but that's definitely not liquid, grams of Tilda rice. It's important that you get Tilda rice. It's perfect, it's nice and fluffy. The reason why I have pouches is mainly convenience. I also have I think it's like the fiery beetroot, but it's very good. I think it's chili fiery beetroot. I got some of that, and I got 4 chicken sausages. If you haven't had chicken sausages before in your life, please introduce yourself. Don't get the Heck ones. The Heck ones are really bland. Don't get the Lidl ones. They're awful. Get the Tesco's ones. And Tesco also do a the sweet chili chicken sausage. sweet chili chicken sausage. But that is far superior. That'll be the greatest thing that has ever blessed your mouth. I'm also going to have 1 scoop of protein with it, and that is going to conclude meal 2. I'm also going to have the decaf coffee. See you for meal 3. This is a great full day of eating, isn't it? I'm back from the walk. Feels like Ready Steady Cook when I got a bag. What a sick show that was. Inside the bag! It's like Ready Steady Cook. So we've got jasmine rice, the best rice in the world. We have olives, chopped tomatoes and mince. All of this combined is going to make, Natalie?
Chili!
Chili con carne. I also realised I hadn't introduced my wife. So this is Natalie, for the people of the vlog. I realised that I introduced Ollie before said wife.
Because you're horrible.
Because I'm fairly horrible.
Horrible.
But welcome to the vlog life.
Vlog life.
Vlog! Hello people of the world, I have just had meal 3, or I had meal 3 and I've actually just had meal 4. So yeah, I did a little bit of work, but they are in, all of my food is in. The only difference between training days and non-training days is not necessarily the macros, but definitely the meal frequency, just because I don't want to be thinking, I've got to eat 5 meals, that's fine. We can eat 4 meals. It just means the protein per meal is a little bit higher, so that's why some of the meals you might see like 60-70 grams of protein. I don't normally do that when training. I normally kind of spread it quite evenly throughout the day. So I thought, you know, this rest day is not that informative, so I thought I'd give you some content, because I'm all about giving, guys. I'm a giver. Sounds really freaking weird, but anyway. I want to talk about sleep a little bit. I don't want to get too technical, but maybe something you can take away into your own training, maybe into your client's training, whoever. So, you saw earlier that I did cut caffeine quite early on in the day, and we are having data basically suggesting that even if you have taken caffeine, you may not report or you may not feel like it's affecting your sleep, but it actually does. We saw a recent study basically having exactly that. 2 subjects, 1 caffeine, 1 non-caffeine. The caffeine reported very good sleep, and when looking back at the data, he had around a 40% decrease in sleep quality, even though they felt completely fine. So although, again, you may feel fine with caffeine, you may have an espresso before bed. Wow, imagine having an espresso before bed. Anyway, you may have an espresso before bed and feel completely fine, but rest assured, you've most certainly got a decreased sleep quality. You'll have a decrease in sleep quality. Anyway, we can then talk about dimming lights, even though I've got an extraordinarily bright ring light in my face, but content, we can do that. We can dim lights around the house. We can make sure our room is like a cave but not wet. It's very important that it's not wet. That'd be very weird unless you've got one of them water beds, and if it is wet, then I think it's a leak. Wow, I just laughed at my own joke. That wasn't even funny. It kind of was funny. Okay, I'll roll with it. So we can also have a hot shower. We can dissipate, or we can drop core body temperature a lot quicker with a kind of a hot shower. We can go right back to core body temperature quicker. Although you'd think it was like a cold shower that would do that, but a hot shower does that. We can then talk about kind of limiting blue lights, etc, etc. I'll leave the nitty gritty stuff, but then we can talk about supplements. So we have ashwagandha, which is to reduce total anxiety and increase sleep quality. Normally, if you have quite high anxiety, it does impact your sleep quality. So this is cool. We also have magnesium biglycinate, which is typically bodybuilders. I take it you're a bodybuilder. You could be mum. Hi mum. But we are very low in magnesium, so supplementing with that is very cool. Also, I have the Endeavour Hibernate, which has lemon balm, has 5 HTP, which is quite similar to the ashwagandha. So if you double up on that, wow, watch your sleep go crazy. Also, a little tip, if you do have hay fever, some or most of the hay fever tablets do have drowsiness effects. I don't know why I did that, that's crazy, isn't it? Do have drowsiness effects. So, if you are taking your hay fever tablet, I wouldn't advise doing it in the morning, but at night. So typically I have, look at this, I have this at night, because if there is ever a time that I want to feel, or would like to feel drowsy, it would be when I'm sleeping. So I don't have it in the day because I feel a bit, that's my impression of feeling a bit drowsy. But yeah, I just have that. And also I do have the vitamin D spray. Don't know if you can see that. I typically have it if it wasn't sunny in the day. Now, we can talk about absorption rates with this and caffeine. Probably not the greatest, but so I have it quite late on in the day. Again, if it's been very, very sunny, I don't feel like I needed it. Like on a rest day, I don't typically have this because I normally just go out for 2 walks, so that's completely fine. So I will not take this today. Anyway, that's the end of the vlog. I hope you have enjoyed watching me eat. And I appreciate everybody who likes, who shares, and who subscribes. Likes, shares, and subscribes, and comments. Thank you, and have a nice evening. Ready? Lights out.